What is up, all my boils and ghouls? It is Charles from Frightmare HQ, and today we are going to open up the Dawn of the Dead 4K box set from Second Sight.
Night of the living dead has ended. Dawn of the dead is here.
All right, I have been waiting for this box set for a long time. This was announced over a year ago, and there was some delays, but it is finally here. So everybody's aware this is not a US release. This was released by Second Sight, which is a UK company. However, 4K discs are not region coded, which means that you can play these 4K movies in your 4K player in the US. However, the special features disc in this is a region B coded disc, which means unless you have a region free player in the US here, you cannot access the special features and watch them. I'd highly recommend getting a region-free player, though, because there's a lot of releases that we don't get in the US that, you can take advantage of. All right, let's open this bad boy up.
It gets up and kills. The people it kills get up and kill.
All right, guys. Let's take a look at what we got here. Ooh-wee! There is a lot of goodies in this bad boy. Oh my word. Oh my word. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. All right, so first up, this box set comes with the Dawn of the Dead novelization by George Romero and Susanna Sparrow. This is actually a pretty cool little addition here. George A. Romero's iconic film and novel terrified generations. Now, Dawn of the Dead is back to terrify once more. That's actually really awesome. Next up, you get a 160-page hardback book called Dissecting the Dead. Look at this. Woo-wee. This has some essays and archival articles, an interview with Romero, merchandising images. Let's see. Lots of cool stuff here about the movie. Oh, like I said, merchandising. You get a nice little hardcover book. A lot of the posters are in here. Really, really cool little reference piece. Got some nice little articles about the movie. This is really, really awesome. Nice touch to detail. I mean, nice, super hardcover book here. Beautiful, beautiful addition to the set.
We must not be lulled by the concept that these are our family members or our friends. They are not. They will not respond to such emotions.
All right, and the first set of discs pulled out here. Look at this. Let me open this up. Look at this artwork here. Look at this artwork. How cool is that? That is so freaking awesome. This first set of discs is actually 3 audio discs. So you've got the original soundtrack by Goblin over here, which is 17 tracks, and there's some alternate tracks as well in there. These last 2 discs are the DeWolf library compilations. Now, these are your background and other audio sounds from the movie. So you got 2 separate ones in here. This is actually really cool. You don't see many sets like this, including 3-disc CDs anymore. So this is actually awesome. One of my favorite scores of all time. So this is actually really cool to have. All right, and your second set of discs here, which has the same artwork. I think it'd have been cool to maybe have a little bit different artwork on here, but it's still cool artwork nonetheless. These are your 4 discs. This thing is huge. All right, so this does come with 3 different versions of the movie. First up here, you've got the US theatrical cut. The US theatrical cut was the 127-minute version that was released to American theaters in 1979. This was always Romero's favorite version. Romero always considered this his vision of the film and always praised this version. Now, this version has a mix of both Goblin's soundtrack and some library tracks in it. The coolest thing about this is Second Sight did a 4K scan and restoration of the original camera negative. That is insane. So the original camera negative, remember when we're talking about that, I'm talking about the raw footage Romero created directly in the camera. So this was Romero's raw footage that was scanned and restored to use in this release. That is nuts. There's never been a release like this before. The final restoration of this was as well approved by Michael Gornick, who was the director of photography on Dawn of the Dead. So that is really, really freaking cool. It's also presented in HDR10 plus, high dynamic range, which is the advanced improved color version. Basically, it pops all your colors, all your media, etc. Really, really awesome. They did a restoration of the original audio. It's presented in both one channel mono, which is, how it should be, the normal channel, but there's also a DTS 5.1 on here. Super freaking cool. Comes with a commentary from Travis Crawford, and there's also English subtitles in there as well. Now, the second version on here, let's see if we can pop this open here, right here. The extended Cons cut. Now, the extended version, as I call it, or the Cons cut as it's also called, is the 139-minute version that's sometimes incorrectly referred to as a director's cut. It's not the director's cut. But this was essentially a work print version that was assembled so Dawn of the Dead could premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. It has a lot of extended scenes, and the soundtrack is almost entirely library tracks. There's not, the Goblin score. It's almost entirely library tracks that are covered on this one here. I really like this version. I always did. Romero was never the biggest fan of this version. He always said this was the correct version. But I do like some of the extended scenes in here that actually expand on some of the events that are going on. This was also restored, kind of a two-step restoration process on the extended cut. They used the 4K scan of the theatrical cut mixed with in a color reversal inner negative from the extended cut. Now, a color reversal inner negative is basically like a low contrast duplicate of a copy. Kind of sits between an original negative and a duplicate negative. So it's not something that's a finalized cut at all, but it's something that does give you a good reference for your coloring. I'm kind of interested in the color reversal inner negative, kind of where it came from. Color reversal inner negatives are not known to last. They're not very stable prints. They are prone to fade a lot. And generally they only last like 10 years. So I'm kind of wondering where they got this one from. But kind of what happens is you take your scan of this and you lay it on top of this scan. And that kind of helps you fill in the gaps. And then the extended scenes that don't exist, you go in and you hand color, hand correct. So it all looks the same. That's a huge, huge process too. Really, really awesome here. And this is also presented in HDR10. This only has DTS 1.0 mono audio, which would be like the original audio on here. And this has a commentary from Richard Rubinstein, as well as subtitles. Your last version you have on here, the Argento Cut. Yes, Dario Argento's Cut, which was released in Italy under the title Zombie. So, also known as the European version, this one runs 118 minutes. It removes a lot of the humorous scenes and basically emphasizes the horror and the action. Argento was not a big fan of comedic elements in these movies. So the assembled cut that he did for the European market removed a lot of this. And this has very extensive use of Goblin's musical score. As we know, Argento loved Goblin. So this has a very much different, very extensive Goblin score on top of it. This is also restored using a different print. This was restored using an inner positive of the European version. So inner positive is a copy of the film before any color grading. So basically, the inner positive would have been made off of the cut that Argento did himself and then saved. So the inner positive is also only printed once, and it is actually a really fantastic source for older films. So that's really cool that they got that and they restored that. So I mean, basically we've got 3 different prints that were used to make the best version of these films. So we've got our inner positives, we got original negatives. This is going to be freaking insane. Now the Argento cut is not presented in HDR10. I'm not sure why, but yeah, that one is not in HDR10. But it also has the 1-channel audio, the 5.1 audio. Coolest one about this one is it has a commentary from Ken Forhey, Scott Ranger, Galen Ross, and David Innes. So we've got the cast on here, so that's going to be cool. And then, of course, we got subtitles. Now, the commentary on this, I believe, is an older commentary. I don't think it's a new one. I think it's one that's kind of been around for a while, but the commentary itself is actually really cool.
What are they doing? Why do they come here?
Some kind of instinct, memory, what they used to do. This was an important place in their life.
All right, so let's talk about some of the special features on here. So, as a reminder, to actually watch the special features disc on here, you're going to have a region-free Blu-ray player if you live in the US. But it is actually worth it. You got a bunch of new features on here. Zombies and Bikers is brand new. You've got Memories of Moreauville Mall, tour of the mall with some of the cast and crew. You've got a new documentary, Raising the Dead, the production logistics. You've got the special effects with Tom Savini. Dummies, an interview with Richard France. You've got the Lost Romero Dawn interview with some unreleased archival footage. And then you've got some older ones that have been on other releases, but still really cool. You got Super 8 mall footage that a Zombie Extra actually took. So that's really cool to watch. You've actually got Document of the Dead on here too, which is the 1979 documentary film by Roy Fremkes that was largely shot during the production of Dawn of the Dead. That's really, really awesome to watch. And then you got The Dead Will Walk, the 2004 documentary. Trailers, TVs, radio spots. Man, this thing is loaded up, guys. Don't forget, it comes in this freaking awesome heavy box. Oh my God, my weekend is stuck, guys. You're not gonna see me for a while. I'm sorry, I gotta go.